This is Pine Leaf Needles, Skirmisher of Middle-earth. We'll now take a look at Trouble in Tuckborough with the Captain. With the Captain, we have to manage an additional ally. First of all, what soldier did I choose? Yes, I know. Another archer. Now the question is, what do I choose for my companion? I have three basic choices here. I could choose a melee companion who will bring a banner with him. In this case, I have a banner of hope. The second possibility... Take two. This is Pine Leaf Needles, Skirmisher of Middle-earth. It is now time to run Trouble in Tuckborough with the Captain. With the Captain, in addition to my skirmish soldier, who is, yes, another archer, I'll also bring with me another companion. I have three choices for this. A melee companion, an archer, or just a banner. In this case, since I already have an archer here, a second archer may be a bit redundant. Though there are some captains who will run with double archers. The idea being in this case that they want as much DPS as possible, A, and B, in order to avoid any potential problems caused by a non-archer or melee person running up and grabbing arrow, in cases like the courtyard in Trouble in Tuckborough. So I can see an argument for that. The second possibility is run with a pure banner and not worry about the second soldier. This is usually done in group runs, simply because the group people get very upset if a captain goes around and their herald brings out tons of folks by accident. Now, while I see the argument of this, unfortunately, since I haven't done much group running yet, my banners are only at level 50 range, while my armaments on my herald are at level 80 range. There you could see the advantage of me wanting to use my herald instead. Therefore, I will use a herald. In this case, I have a banner of war, which helps me to kill things a little bit faster. Now, if things go a little bit tough, I may switch to a herald of victory. No, a herald of hope. Herald of victory is for power. And we'll start with the little goblin, who, of course, once again decides to come through the back, even though there's an obvious place in the front. Now, the captain has some nice on-defeat skills. Which I can use whenever I manage to bring down one of my enemies. So I'm not going to do it in this case, since that's to restore morale, and I seem to have plenty of it at the moment. A Shepherd of Filth. I seem to have trouble with the Shepherd of Filth with the captain. And this is because I have two ways that I usually deal with a Shepherd of Filth. One is through a stun or mez, and the second way is through an AoE attack. Neither of those is exactly the specialty for the captain. Oh, with good timing, we could do them fine. For example, on defeat, a routing cry should be able to do the trick quite well. Let us see what happens. I could always use Time of Need if I want to. Let's see if that helps. Unfortunately, it appears that yes, the shepherd is outside of the range. All those worms were outside of the range of my rallying cry, which means all I did was waste my time of need. Seeing that I have a habit of forgetting that I even have it, it's probably not a major loss in my case. But it's better if I had done that earlier so that I could done the rallying cry before he summoned them, since that would have stunned the shepherd and stopped him from doing the summoning. As you can see, I still have a few lessons to learn in playing the captain. Now my captain is level 85, but that does not mean by any sense of wording that I have mastered the class. Since I haven't spent much time at cap yet, I only recently reached cap. And I haven't had too much opportunity for any group play. Alright. Here we have our Zealot of Pain, who is fighting our hobbits. Oh, fun thrills. This is where things get tricky. Now look, doesn't look like any of the hobbits are attacking. Let's stun that for a moment. Maybe we could kill a goblin or two before he starts yelling. Ah, he started yelling just as the last goblin went down. How nice. Oh yes. And also my herald. The Hobbit defenders have no qualms about attacking a Zealot of Pain. Now there are some skirmishes where the defenders will attack the Zealot without any trouble, but I mean will avoid it just like your soldiers would, but this is one where they will attack it, and one of the plans is to keep the defenders from doing so. Now here's a Stormkeeper who has a ranged attack, and this is the one that gives me pause about using a melee herald, because if the Stormkeeper comes and attacks me, my herald is going to run right at the Stormkeeper. That's not a good idea. Now if there was a moving person going around here like that, I would probably just set my herald against that person, start attacking there, and be done with it. But now if I attack the Stormkeeper, my herald will attack the Stormkeeper. Therefore, the most logical thing for me to do at this point is to switch off. If there were a different type of lieutenant, I would most likely have just left him there and not worry about the problem. But here, my archer is going to go and shoot from the location, and that suits me just fine. Now, let us try that and see how far back I can pull the Stormkeeper. I want to pull everybody as far out of the courtyard as possible. That way, if they do anything crazy, it's more likely to be away from anyone from the other group. Since the last thing we want is to be overwhelmed by the second group. Alright, yeah, he's nice and far away now. This is working out fairly well. And I didn't even break a sweat, though apparently my companions did. Let them do all the work, I guess. The captain's job is to inspire, right? There you go. Now we have a venomous blood arrow. And that means a nice kick is a good way to start a fight with a blood arrow. Boom. And that gets us going very nicely. Now they got an archer there. Make sure to tell them to do the strong attacks against our blood arrow here. Since there's a little bit extra control to a herald or other companion than you would have to your soldier. Since your soldier uses their special skills automatically. So the joke is, usually when it's least convenient for you. There we go. Now we've cleared the courtyard. Now the usual finish, which based on what I've seen so far shouldn't be too much of a problem. And thus of course we've got a bunch of archers. Of course I've got a bunch of archers also. So I suppose that makes it an even match. Playing a captain is like playing an army commander when you're in the skirmish, since you've got 3 to worry about, myself plus 2 others, instead of just 2 as you normally have in a skirmish. And this guy should give us little trouble, since you know how relatively easy this particular opponent is when in running a skirmish. At least in solo runs. And there he is down. Paladin is untied. And the hobbits are happy. And that concludes a captain's run of Trouble in Tuckborough. This is Pine Leaf Needles. May your shield protect you, and your spear never break.